Arunji, am
Yes,
I
sir.
audible? Am I audible loud and clear?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay. So without wasting time, I think Dr. Arun has very beautifully explained the entire sequence of events which happened yesterday, and I have been given the task of moderating this session 3, and I will also try to give you very quickly within 4 to 5 minutes the brief background of C&D waste management, how it started, and the success stories and government's initiative, and what should be the way forward. So all the participants, once again formally, good afternoon to all of you. I extend very warm welcome to all the participants in this knowledge exchange workshop, which is national level draft strategy for C&D waste management, being organized by Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office and CPWD, with IPE Global as their knowledge partners. This is session 3, which is on development of new and innovative products and technological innovation in material recycling. Before taking up presentations and panel discussions, I have been asked to give you the brief overview of the subject and government's initiative. From BMTPC side, it all started with the launch of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or Swachh Bharat Mission on 2nd October 2014, with the aim to make India clean. This mission, besides other activities, envisaged processing of 100% solid waste generated in cities and towns by 2nd of October 2019, which was 150th birth anniversary year of Mahatma, as key objective. And that included effective management of C&D waste also. All of you are aware, I don't need to explain that, but for the sake of continuity, C&D waste is the debris generated from construction, repair, renovation and demolition of structures, and comprises of range of non-hazardous solid waste materials such as bricks, mortar, concrete, wood, steel, metal, masonry, gypsum, asphalt, etc. In advanced countries, the useful materials from C&D waste are segregated and reused with little or no processing, and rest of the material is being recycled and gainfully utilized for manufacturing building materials and components. Whereas in India, C&D waste is still primarily going to landfills, causing environmental nuisance, and very little percentage is being reused and recycled. In March 2016, please note, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, MOEF and CC, notified rules for management of C&D waste 2016, defining duties of waste generators, service providers, their contractors, local authorities, state pollution control board, central pollution control board, central government, state government, etc. This notification also advocated proper management of C&D waste from collection to its proper disposal and use. This was one of the most significant initiative in the field of C&D waste management taken by Government of India. Also, in March 2017, there was a guidebook on environmental management of C&D waste, which was brought out by CPCB. That guideline addresses the uses pertaining to abatement of adverse environmental impact arising from C&D waste management activities. Realizing that there is no proper guidelines for C&D waste management in housing sector, BMTPC came out with guidelines in November 2017. I will just try to show you. These were the guidelines which were published by us for utilization of C&D waste. Subsequently, in association with Ministry of Housing, we also published a Ready Reckoner in October 2018 on C&D waste management. And all these documents can be downloaded from our website. Friends, let me also tell you very quickly about some of the very important initiatives and success stories as regards utilization of C&D waste products in India. Bureau of Indian Standard, BIS, after a long time, amended IS 383, which is the specification for fine and coarse aggregate. It is the code which specifies, fine and coarse aggregates. So they amended in January 2016 this IS 383 and permitted part substitution of aggregates, both fine and coarse, from natural resources by aggregates manufactured from recycled debris, and that replacement could can go up to 20 to 25% in RCC and 100% in lean concrete. So that was also a very welcome step, empowering technocrats to make use of C&D waste in fine and coarse aggregate. Also, all of you agree with me, and I think my panelists will, dwell upon this thing. There are variety of concrete products which can be made or are being made using C&D waste based aggregates, fine and coarse, in situ and preferably in prefabricated mode. And there are variety of products like concrete blocks, interlocking blocks, paver blocks, curb stone, drain covers, sanitation units, poles, benches for parks, ready mix concrete, wall and slab components, and tree guards, etc. Friends, my ministry, the erstwhile Ministry of Urban Development, way back in 2012, notified to all states to set up environment-friendly C&D waste recycling facilities in all towns and cities with population more than 1 million. Also, when we talk about success stories, there are two to three plants right now being operated based on C&D waste in Delhi. One is at Burari and other one is at Shastri Park, and both these plants are running on PPP model. There is another plant run by DMRC at Mundka. These are the success stories. Also in Ahmedabad, with the buyback facility, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation is operating a C&D waste plant, and there are many more which are commissioned or are at various stages of commissioning. Also, I would like to tell you that the East Kidwai Nagar was redeveloped by NBCC, where all C&D waste were utilized in situ through 150 tons per day capacity plant by one company called Messrs. Enzyme India, with 100% buyback arrangement with NBCC. And our own organization CPWD has already issued schedule of rates for C&D waste products, which include concrete blocks, paving tiles, etc. And there have been number of circulars regarding its uses in all its work. My Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, regularly reviews and monitor utilization of C&D waste products by central government departments such as DDA, CPWD, NBCC, DMRC, etc. Also, respected departments have issued circulars regarding use of C&D waste, which has resulted in high utilization by these departments. Also, there is a case study which came into limelight by CPWD. Recently, they constructed a new Supreme Court building where they used all CC blocks were produced using C&D waste. Now, let me just very briefly, to set the tone for today's discussion and panel discussion, I would just like to give you the road ahead in a minute or so. With the issues of several shortage of aggregates, all of you know sand is scarce and even coarse aggregates are scarce. So, severe shortage of aggregates from natural resources and increasing quantities of C&D waste, the option of C&D waste based aggregates assumes larger significance in today's context. Also, massive building and infrastructure is being planned in the country, and if I go by NBC, it is quoted in NBC. There is a chapter on sustainability which says that by 2050 the built up area of India may become 4 times the current mass, which may pose a major challenge in preserving our fragile environment. So in light of all these, some future plan of actions which come to my mind are, we need to procurement of materials from made from construction and demolition waste shall be made mandatory to a percentage of, to a certain percentage. So all the projects must procure material made from C&D waste, maybe 10 to 15%, but it should be subjected to strict quality control. And this is the responsibility of the state government UT as per C&D Management Rule 2016, and need to be followed both in letter and spirit. Also, with improvement in collection and processing of C&D waste and through equipment and process parameters of higher sophistication, we can continuously explore possibilities of higher percentage. Why to restrict 20 to 25% replacement by C&D waste? We can explore possibilities of higher percentage of use of C&D waste aggregates. Also, there is tremendous possibility for performance oriented, that is design mix concrete, without having any limit on use of C&D waste aggregates, along with R&D institutes and BIS. Also, IRC, Indian Road Congress, needs to play an important role, as in roads and embankment sector there is bulk application of aggregate and concrete based on C&D waste. As along with proper collection segregation of C&D waste, the performance of processing facilities and plants play a very important role in ensuring the quality of end products. And I find CDE Asia as one of the panelists. They have a beautiful, mobile plant which can be taken to the site, and you can, without any fuss, you can 100% utilize the C&D waste. So it is time that we look at these best practices, and our municipalities and development authorities tie up with these agencies for gainful utilization of C&D waste. Also, there is a dire need to create a web platform with important information related to C&D waste, C&D waste best practices, international, national generation of C&D waste in a city. This may significantly improve information sharing. Last but not the least, there is a white paper by Niti Aayog on C&D waste, and I strongly recommend the organizers to go through this. So I will just give 5 points from the Niti Aayog document. They have written clearly the way forward is, let's inventorize and characterize the C&D waste which is available in India. We need to handhold our cities. We need to accelerate state level facilitation of C&D waste based products. We need to promote the awareness in the construction industry about C&D waste, and last but not the least, we need to promote utilization of C&D waste recycled products. And friends, immediate and urgent priority is expediting the implementation of management plans and commissioning of C&D waste facilities in cities and towns of population more than 1 million. So that is the urgent priority if we really want to promote C&D waste management in India. With this background, initiatives and road ahead, I thank you for giving me this time. And I don't know, I have to moderate, or organizers will moderate the session. Otherwise, I invite presenters to put forward their viewpoints, which will be followed by panel discussion.